WWCGD. What would Christopher Goodson do? Chuck made me put that. All right, so he was over my house. I was going through this with her. Write that. Look, there's a lot of opportunity here. We've got all these houses going into default. There's a lot of money to be made. Like Chuck mentioned before, in turmoil, that's where wealth is created. So I'm excited about this time. I mean, for my mortgages, I'm going to be focusing on these FHA secures, right? I'm going to get my loan officers all ramped up to do this. I'm going to get you guys referring me people who are in trouble, right? I'll pay you a referral fee. Anybody know somebody here who's late on their mortgage? Anybody know people who are about to be late on the mortgage? Rates about to reset? Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity there. Other major thing is I'm now focused on credit repair like I never have before. Where's William Moore? William Moore, stand up for a real quick second. William Moore is going to be giving a seminar in this room next Wednesday. Okay? I'm turning my loan officers into credit repair guys. Why? Because credit scores mean more now than ever. It's to the point now where a lot of people, I can't even get in if I can't get your credit score above 660. 660, 10% down, I might still be able to do your loan. I can do it today. Ask me next week, I don't know. Guidelines keep on changing quick. But real quick, you want to mention something about your meeting next week?
Okay. I'm going to be here next week just talking about a phenomenal company. Oh, well, you know how you know, Mike. 20 years in the Army. Thank you. Testing. Hello. Hello. Don't need no mic. I'm going to be talking about a company called United Credit Education Services. It's a non-for-profit company. And basically what we do is we help people identify all the inaccurate and outdated information on people's credit report. And through the Fair Credit Reporting Act, we actually have these things legally removed. The Federal Trade Commission that oversees everything that we do, we're actually the only company authorized by the IRS to provide that type of service where we can charge people. So we really encourage everybody to come out next week, hear some information about it. We're a new company, only 4 years old, but we're in a Better Business Bureau with no complaints. So you guys can have a lot of fun. So looking forward to seeing you.
All right, good. Looking forward to it. That's next Wednesday. I got a lot of guys. Look, you guys are my base. You're my investors. So when a guy like Tony Scott sends me over a package of information, I run his credit and I report back to him, or I got pre-qual my buyer. I got a direct line. Chuck's office sends me over this information. I'm running these credit reports. But what happens? Instead, I used to say, look, there's nothing I can do for this guy. Now I say, okay, let's get him into credit repair, and let's look about getting him a mortgage 3 months down the road. Now, if the guy's got 540 credit, I throw that paper out. It ain't going to happen. But if I got a guy with a 620 credit score, I go, hey, let's make this work. Let's get him into this credit repair so you guys can get your buyers. I mean, look, the way I run my business is you, the investor, contact me, not necessarily because you're buying a mortgage, but because you're trying to sell a house. And my job is to get your house sold. And if that means that I have to hold this guy's hand and walk him to the credit repair, that's what I'm going to do. The thing I like about this system as opposed to the others is I can, when I log them in, if they go through me, I can track them online and see when stuff's removed, okay? So I'm not calling this guy up going, are you ready to pull your credit again? You ready to pull this credit? No, I'm calling him up and saying, okay, you're ready to pull your credit. I see this has been removed from your credit report. I'm able to then, A, get that guy credit report re-pulled, get his credit score up. I close the loan, and that means, for you guys, more sales, right? So it's going to be a lot more difficult to find. It's going to be a lot more difficult to find buyers. It's not going to be it's not going to be very difficult to find people to buy properties from. There's thousands of them out there. And real quick, like I was talking about before in Chuck's business, it still works, but you need to find those bigger spreads, all right? So let me go back to this for a second. So if you've got a giant big barrel of properties to pull from, you can just take an arrow, shoot it in there, grab the fish, turn it into a cash flowing property. I remember going to a seminar a couple years ago, and an investor was up on a stage like this. I think he was trying to sell me some program. But he was talking about a time where you could just pick up a property, cash flowing. And we're returning back to those times. So you got to be able to move fast to get on the really good ones. You got to cipher through a lot more. So what's that mean? That means I'm going to be buying in cash. Remember I talked about my home equity line? We're going to take a couple other home equity lines and a couple other properties. We're going to buy these properties in cash because if you got a big enough spread but you need to move now, I'm going to be able to do it. Guy calls up Chuck and says, I need to sell my house. He says, okay, what do you take for it? $350. All right, I can do that. It's going to take me a couple of months to get it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't have a couple months. I need to sell now. Oh, before, nothing you could do. But what we're going to do now, we're going to create an organization called Salvation Partners. We're going to pool our cash together. There's a bunch of flyers on that back table. If you write down your name, information, I'll give you a private invitation to a special event. It's not going to be a general meeting. It's going to be for people who, A, have $25,000 to put down. I don't want this to be the only $25,000 you have to your name. But if we can pool our cash, we can start buying properties on the cheap that cash flow day one, buy them quick, refinance them, and then cash flow. Other thing we're doing is, if you don't want to pool your funds with us, Salvation Associates is another organization. Chuck's got a lot of leads coming in. We got a lot of leads in, so much that we can't even chase them all. And there's enough deals out there that we can't do them. We're going to be able to sell those leads off to people who are interested in them. So if you want Chuck won't touch anything with a less than a $50,000 spread. Anyone here interested in a place with a $30,000 spread? Okay, we got a handful of you. Well, we're going to be selling those leads off because Chuck spent a lot of time and a lot of marketing dollars fine-tuning his process that he can get these lead generation in. In the back there's a paper. Fill it out. It's called Salvation Associates. We can sell those leads to you. But what's this all mean? It means that for those of you who are ready and able and willing to take advantage of this is a lot more opportunity than we've ever had before. So with that, I want to encourage you all to go out there. There's still lots of money to be made in this market. It's going to get a lot easier, too, to find motivated buyers. You're going to have to work tightly with a mortgage agent, if not me, somebody else who's able to get their credit repair done, get them into these FHA programs. Look, a lot of mortgage guys out there aren't FHA approved. We've got a dedicated FHA underwriter. I'm going to be streamlining. I'm teaching all of my guys FHA inside and out to get these people into these properties. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult to sell, a lot more easy to buy, and a lot bigger spreads in there. And what would Christopher Goodson do? I'm going to be buying for cash flow. When these property prices drop, sure, I'm going to buy and flip, all right? But I'm also going to be buying and holding. Because I think right now, if you bought a property, if I could buy a property in Clifton, in Bloomfield, that was cash flow positive, a two-family in Bloomfield, what's that going to be worth 5 years from now when this market comes back? You're really going to be kicking yourself if in this next year or 2 years you don't buy something and hold it. If you got nothing else out of this today, let me tell you, you need to buy. It's got to make sense. The numbers got to make sense. But if you can buy, hold it, put $200 a month in your pocket each month, you're going to be able to sell that same property for substantially more. My father taught me to buy for cash flow. That's what he believed in. So I had to buy apartment buildings. Okay? I own apartment buildings in Hoboken, Jersey City. Why? Because I like dealing with all those tenants. They're a pain in the ass. No. But because it was cash flow positive. And that's what my father taught me. He didn't buy me to buy an appreciation.